Ever since last year's adaptation of Stephen King's It, people have been giving some well-deserved attention to the genre of horror. And you know what scary movie everyone's been talking about lately? That's right, A Quiet Place. So here's my review for Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories, written and directed by Jeremy Dyson and Andy Nyman. You know, when you go to the cinema, you always get the trailers that are specially chosen as being relevant to the film you're about to see. For Ghost Stories, I got a trailer for the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. What? I mean, come on, people. I know they're both British films, but it's a bit of a stretch. But what was interesting was seeing a bunch of trailers for some very generic American horror films. One after the other, each trailer is as boring as the next one. So by the time Ghost Stories actually begins, it's actually quite refreshing to have a film with good actors, good directors, and a good, well, fairly good story. And yes, as the title suggests, there are multiple ghost stories, but they're all connected by one main thread, followed by our lead, Professor Goodman, played by one of the writer-directors, Andy Nyman. Our main story follows Professor Goodman as he exposes fraudulent spirit mediums. I mean, they're all fraudulent. And he's exposing these mediums for a TV show. It's a bit like The Cook Report. Remember The Cook Report? I'm old. Professor Goodman is then set a challenge to confirm the reality or hoaxes of 3 particular ghost stories. That's why it's called Ghost Stories. It's very clever.
3 cases I couldn't explain. You go and investigate if you dare.
What follows from there is very dependent on your tolerance for scary movies. I love a good horror movie, and this is a good horror movie. But I didn't find it that scary, though. Well, good for you, Matt Blair. And I've not seen the play that this film is based on, but I have heard that that play is terrifying. This film, not so much. It was tense, it was humorous, and at times, quite sad. All the performances are on point. Andy Nyman is a solid lead.
Untangle the truth from the fiction.
Martin Freeman shows some interesting range here. He really demonstrates that he should try some wilder characters in his future roles.
Do you believe in evil, Professor?
I didn't. Until that night.
Maria?
And I've never really thought of Martin Freeman as much of a leading man, but if he were a pair of boxer shorts, he'd give you all the support you need. Paul Whitehouse as well felt a bit underused, actually. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good to see him on the big screen. He has a strong presence as a troubled, xenophobic night watchman. It's just his story kind of fizzles out. As does Alex Lawther's story, which was a shame because the film really came to life when his story began. He plays an overly hyper teenager with a performance that you'll either love as a comedy piece or absolutely hate as being too over the top. And honestly, I'm a bit undecided on that myself. The overall feel of the film, though, really works. It's not too long a film, clocking in at the hour and 38-minute mark. Good length for a film like this. The story is not overly convoluted in any way, but there are flaws in that simplicity. I don't want to give any spoilers for this film, and I won't, but there is an element of this film that I did feel came across like a children's English literature assignment. I don't know if it was something that was adapted from the play or was made especially for the film, but I was kind of let down when that bit happened. I will say it's not a gory film. This is a safe date movie if you both fancy something scary. And don't let the cast lead you to believe that this is some sort of comedy horror movie. It may have some amusing moments, but this is no Shaun of the Dead. I'm not saying that it was marketed that way or that that's a bad thing. What I am saying is that if you've got Paul Whitehouse and Martin Freeman in a movie, you might be led to believe that you're going to get some hilarity. Nope. Just ghosts. What I did find weird was the coincidental timing that this film does cover some subtle issues with anti-Semitism. Spooky. Now, to score this film, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm probably not going to watch it if I see it on TV, but if I spot it on a VOD site around Halloween time, I'm probably going to watch it there, but I'm not going to rush out to buy it at any point soon. Now, what I don't want is any of you lot to come back to me and said, well, you said it wasn't scary, but I pooped myself. That's fair enough. I've watched a lot of horrific horror movies that may have dulled my senses. I mean, I saw half of Aliens when I was about 12 and I didn't sleep for a week. I also want to give a shout out to my old friend Dylan, who worked as a sound recordist on Ghost Stories, and he's obviously been watching my reviews because I got this text from him asking me to be nice. Dylan, the film sounded fantastic. Now everyone, tell me, what's your favourite scary movie? Comment below, and while you're down there, hit subscribe and like the video as well. give it a share on Facebook and Twitter, and if you can, please donate to the coffee link. This has been Matt Blair Reviews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.